This video is brought to you by Ageless Geeks.
Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Mezco 112 Collective Thor. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcasing your standard 112 box, with a Thor Ragnarok emblem at the center. Turning the box around, we can see multiple images of the figure showcased in multiple posing positions with his different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is Thor out of the box. And man, I am really stoked to have this figure in my collection because we have desperately needed a Thor in the 112 line. Now, I'm stoked about this piece because I absolutely love the Ragnarok film, and it's really cool getting this figure based on that iconic scene, and Mezco did not disappoint. This is a badass action figure, and I cannot wait to check him out with you guys. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So Thor does come with a good amount of accessories. Starting off, he comes with 3 interchangeable head sculpts, 6 interchangeable hands, a shield, 2 swords, and a club. And lastly, he also comes with a lightning effect piece and 2 sword sheaths, one with 2 handles coming out the top. He also comes with a circular base stand with the Thor Ragnarok emblem printed at the top. He also comes with a clear articulated arm that articulates at 4 points with the clip. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at Thor. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at Thor. Now, really stoked to have a Thor finally in our collections. Now, I do wish or hope at some point, and I'm pretty sure they will at some point down the line, do a classic Thor, but this is the one we have right now from the MCU movies, and of course from Thor Ragnarok, which I absolutely enjoyed. In my opinion, that's one of the best Marvel movies, let alone it is, in my opinion, the best Thor movie out there, so pretty cool. I love the look that they went with from that iconic arena scene where he's fighting the Hulk, which is fantastic. I think that head sculpt is really good. Some people complain that looks nothing like Hemsworth. I know, I just think that's ridiculous. Granted, it's not perfect, but you know, Mezco's face sculpts tend to be a little soft when it comes to actor likenesses and whatnot. But I still think that's pretty cool, and it's not like that looks like a completely different person. You know what I mean? That still looks like Hemsworth, in my opinion, for the most part. So it looks pretty good. All the intricate detail along like his buckles on top of his shoulders and whatnot, the straps and all the divots and rivets and whatnot, the lining of that chest armor, all the paint that goes down to his pant leg into his knee pad, all looks really good. You got this leather tunic piece going right here with the gold belt buckle, all the leather pieces going on for the forearm and the bicep and whatnot, even on the shoulder pad. And the hands looks really, really good. The shoulder pad is a separate piece, so that's really nice. It doesn't really get in the way. Love the fabric used on the pants. That looks really, really cool. Got this nice shin guard right here. That looks very awesome with that bright blue and that paint right here. And you got more of the straps and whatnot, like the leather wrapping across that one. Looks really good. You got some treads on the bottom. That all looks really, really nice. See the back of his tunic right here. This isn't soft goods right here. This is more of a stiffer plastic, but still pretty pliable for the most part. We do got a soft goods cape that works really nice. It's a nice stretchy material. If you have like the Superman figure, it kind of reminds me of that type of cape, just a kind of a really stretchy and whatnot. Real bright red. It is tattered at the bottom a bit, so that's really nice. It also attaches right here at the hip, so that works out pretty nice. We got the back of his sword right there. Now this plugs on a little tricky like so. That peg is a little awkward, and you can kind of see where it plugs in right there. It's not the best. That probably actually is my biggest complaint, is that it just holds on kind of weird. But you can get it in there, and you can make it work, and it's not going anywhere for the most part, so that's still pretty cool. So I'm going to take that off right now. But all this looks really, really cool, man. I like this a ton. I really, really do, maybe because I just love that movie so much. It was just a ton of fun. So I'm really excited to get a figure of this particular version of Thor in the 112 line, my favorite line. So that's pretty cool. Like that a lot. Okay, so we do get some accessories here. We do get his shield, which is really rad. I like this shield a ton. Just looks really cool. Lots of nice detail and paint on that. Those nice silvers and reds and all the like circuitry and stuff like that. You have a little bracer inside here that actually just kind of like holds on. Let me just take this hand off real quick. And you know, let me put on a fist right there. So standard pegs for the fists, which I do like for Mezco. And you kind of just slide that through there like so, and it will hold on. You can get a gripping hand to hold onto this rail like that. What I like is that this can be rotated like so with that handle, so you can actually kind of like hold it in different positions and whatnot. So I think that's very cool that we even got the option for something like that. That's pretty rad, and I like that a ton. We also do get his club. I love this little war club like that. Nice weathering and whatnot with all the red and the grip handles and that kind of like gunmetal. Just looks really, really cool. We can hold that in a gripping hand like so. The gripping hands are a little tight, which is nice. I do like that, and it holds on there very nice, and I just think that's rad. That's something you really want to complete the whole look here. Since we do get this little thing with the swords like so, I will note that the sword handles are actually different. They're two different types of handles, which is really, really nice. And you also get this one right here, just to make it look like the swords aren't inserted, so you can plug this like on the back like so, while he holds his actual swords like that. What's really cool, they are two completely different scopes, so I really like that with the different handles and whatnot. Even the circuitry on the blades is completely different, and that's just a really cool look too. I actually love holding him holding with the swords. I think it looks really nice, and with that wrist articulation, you can kind of really get some popped right off the peg. You can get some like sword aloft poses and whatnot, just over his head and things like that work out very, very nice. And I love the fact that, I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but I'll see if I can focus on a little bit. They are actually a gold and bronze. The handle itself is gold, and the guard and then the butt of the handle are actually in bronze. So that's just really cool. I definitely like these swords a lot more in person. They're just really, really cool. They are a fairly thin plastic, so just be careful with those breaking in the future. We also do get his stand. This is the Thor Ragnarok emblem from the movie. This is the same one we've seen with Thor and whatnot. And then we also get the articulated arm. Again, this might be perfect for this guy, and you want to get him in more like aerial poses and things like that. We also do get this lightning effect piece, which is fantastic. I love this. And you'll see some pictures more at the end and whatnot. You could have it kind of wrapped around the club if you want, or you can just have more like around his arm, which I've done in a few options like that. So you can kind of get something like that, so you get like some kind of like lightning punch. I think that works out pretty cool. I love that. I'm always in favor of like effect pieces for certain characters, and that just works out really, really good. That I like that a lot. So we do get some interchangeable hands. So we do get a set of closed-fisted hands. Those are the ones that come packaged in the box. Those look really nice. We also do get some open palm hands for stylized posing, which work out good. And then we do, of course, get some gripping hands for holding his multiple weapons. So again, they just hold on the standard peg, which is really, really nice. And I do appreciate always getting multiple options when it comes to hands and things like that. So we also do get 3 interchangeable head sculpts. So we do get the standard head that one's packaged in the box. Again, I do think that looks a lot like the actor for the most part. It looks pretty good. I like the sculpt of the beard and whatnot. The eyes look really nice, and I love the hair and whatnot. I just think that came out really, really cool. We also came out with this head right here, which is like his, almost like his lightning effect eyes and whatnot, with that God of Thunder glowing blue eyes, which I think is really, really nice. And from what I think, they use like a UV paint. So if we turn off the lights and I turn on a little black light, you can see like his eyes really, really glowing with that black light. glowing that blue. You can hold the head under like regular light and it'll still glow for a short bit, but I think it works better with a little black light. If you happen to have one handy, I think that looks pretty rad and just a nice little touch that Mezco gave us. And then we do get this awesome helmeted head, which I think looks fantastic. That's how I'm going to be displaying it with this particular version right here. And I love the fact that, you know, since these interchange at the neck, you can even see how the war paint kind of goes down the neck too, and that's pretty awesome. And I just dig that a ton. That looks rad. That's exactly how I want to display him. So again, these do pop off at the neck like so you can see that, and then you can just take that on like there, and boom, now you have him with the helmeted head ready to do battle against the Hulk, which just looks really, really good. What I do like is that the fins actually do go up and down like so, because when he first comes out in the arena, he's like that with the fins down, and I think it's really cool. Then he goes into battle, and then these come up to look almost like more signature Thor, you know, wings for his helmet and whatnot. And yep, that's pretty dope, man. I dig that a lot. So it's a very, very cool looking addition to that. That's the way my Thor's gonna be rocking, so really, really cool. All right, so now let's take a look at the articulation here, because a lot of people are really curious how he's going to be and whatnot, and a lot of people have complained about articulation in the past few figures, so let's see how he holds up. So the head and the neck are on a ball joint, so he does roll around like so, lots of good motion, does turn left and right, looks up very, very far, which I love. Again, I think that's because we get a ball peg in the neck and a ball peg in the actual head, so we get a lot of good motion there. We can look all the way down, again, very, very nice, and pivot side to side. Arms can go all the way up, full 360 if you really want to. Again, this shoulder pad is a separate piece, so it doesn't really hinder articulation all that much. This arm will go up only about that far because of that, but on this side it will go up just a little more, but you can see it's still fairly good for the most part. We do get rotation at the bicep. We got a double jointed elbow that bends pretty good. I know a lot of people want to see more double jointed elbows, and I'm not really for or against it, but I do think that works out very nice. So hopefully Mezco will listen to a lot of other fans who really want that and give us more motion like that. So that works out pretty nice. We got rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We do get a double ball peg in the waist here. The articulation is a little hindered because of the more like thicker rubbery type of plastic, but what's cool, I love the fabric suit underneath. But we do get a little bit of motion in there. Does turn left and right a bit, crunches back and forth a tiny bit, pivot side to side, not really so much. So that's where your big hindrance is going to be inside this torso. It is a little flexible, but not by much. So we got hip joints that kick forward that much, back about that far, to the splits about that far right there. A little hindered by the material and whatnot. Rotation in that upper thigh. We got double jointed knees. We got rotation at the boot that rotates a little bit. Rotation at the ankle. Ankles go up and down, and a slight ankle rocker that could be a lot better. And that's personally one thing that I wish they would do as far as articulation goes, and just give us a lot better ankle rockers, because, you know, when standing these figures in more dynamic poses and whatnot, that's a must. Even for slight poses, you know, you really want a good sturdy ankle rocker in there. But anyways, overall, I think this is a really dope figure. Again, I love this so much. I cannot wait to display it with this big bad boy right here, the Mezco Hulk. This is the set I've been wanting for a while. I just think it's very, very cool. Again, and a lot of people didn't like that Hulk, but I thought it was pretty decent. So yeah, very cool piece. I think this is one of the better figures to come out and watch, because he comes with a lot of accessories and whatnot. The articulation is really good. And again, fingers crossed for a classic Thor, because that would go great with this one. But I think he's an awesome piece, and I think he is definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Mezco comparison, here he is standing next to the 112 Collective Incredible Hulk figure, also from Thor Ragnarok. And just for fun, here he is standing next to a little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Mezco 112 Collective Thor from the Ragnarok film. Now overall, I think this is a badass action figure that Mezco pretty much kicked ass with this piece. The only real issue that we have, in my opinion, is the torso articulation is hindered by his armor. Other than that, I think everything is really good. I love the sculpt and the detail. The bright, vibrant color paint apps of all his red and blues just look awesome. His interchangeable parts and accessories are insane and exactly the highlight of this figure that I was expecting. All these things make for one badass Thor figure, and hey, getting this piece in the Mezco 112 line based on one of my favorite Marvel movies is pretty rad in my book. So overall, I give him a rating of 4 bat bombs out of 5. And if you're on Facebook, head over to my group, the Mezco 112 Collective Collectors, for all kinds of Mezco goodness. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.